I am Razio.
What's up, guys? Raziel here, finally again, and before we get into the topic at hand, I wanted to preface this video with answering a question I'm sure many of you are wondering and have been asking, and that is, where the fuck is the content, Raz? Well, first off, I've been on vacation for the past week, but that isn't the primary reason that my YouTube channel hasn't had more regular content. If any of you have watched my streams regularly or watched most of my videos to the end, you probably already know the answer to the question. But for those of you who don't, here's the long and short of it. YouTube and my Twitch channel are not my job, nor do I want them to be my job. I never started this YouTube channel or my Twitch stream to make loads of money. I don't have the free pass on Twitch, also known as having huge breasts and a vagina between my legs, followed by an army of horny teenage boys to support such a career. In other words, I'm not a Twitch thought, so I'm not going to get tons of views that way. On a side note, I do want to thank everyone who's donated and supports my content immensely, and I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. I started my YouTube channel because it gives me a place to rant, it gives me a place to discuss my views and my musings on the game industry, and of course the games I avidly play. It's also, I mean, like I said earlier, it's a great place for venting, and I tend to be a thinker. I think a lot, I dissect things a lot, and I see a lot, in a lot of cases, what other people don't see, or they do see and are afraid to talk about. I started my Twitch channel just over a year ago, because why the hell not? And I started to have a lot of fun with it, and the interaction directly with many of my followers and subs really makes it enjoyable for me. And I'm going to continue streaming, and I'm going to continue making YouTube content as long as I enjoy it. What I will, however, not do is turn into a clickbaity channel that just parrots every last bit of news that anyone with a fucking phone can Google and search in 2 minutes. There are way too many channels for every game that exists like this on YouTube that are simply, you know, just fucking a bunch of soy boys with clickbait titles, completely devoid of any real content and opinions in any way. They're just trying to desperately get you as many subs as they can, as many clicks and as many views as they can at any cost. They'll sell out for anything. That's just not me, nor will it ever be. There hasn't been a video on my YouTube channel for a little over 2 weeks because I haven't had something concrete that I really wanted to talk about. But today, that isn't the case. What I want to talk about today ties quite a bit into everything I just said in the preface for this video. So, without further ado, this is what I want to talk about today. Why do people continue to play games, mainly MMOs, they get very little, if any, enjoyment at all out of anymore? Well, how do we tackle this? I think I have the answer because I lived it. For those of you who don't know, my first MMO ever was all the way back in 1999, Asheron's Call. And of course, this isn't counting the games I played before that were like MUDs, you know, multi-user dimensions, but those weren't graphical, they don't count. I played Asheron's Call religiously for 4 years, and then I went on to Dark Age of Camelot for nearly 2, and then of course World of Warcraft came out in late 2004, and I played that game on and off, mostly on, until Warlords of Draenor for 14 years. I mean, it's hard to imagine playing a single video game for 14 goddamn years. I mean, Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VII, and of course Final Fantasy Tactics are 3 of my favorite games of all time, but I could never play only those games over and over and over for 14 years straight. I mean, I ended up hating them. You know, I'd just go out of my mind. So, how did I do it with WoW, and now how do I do it with Final Fantasy XIV? Well, one thing that the MMO genre has over a single-player game is it's the organic interactions that happen with other players during, you know, your adventure, your play. At least that's how it fucking used to be. On top of the consistent updates and numerous expansions all those types of games get. I mean, many friends are made, many enemies are made, and therein lies the core of why we continue to play an MMO long after the enjoyment of the actual game itself has worn out its welcome and logging in starts to feel like a goddamn job. It's the relationships and friends and the attachment you even have to your own character that you made. But let me say this. It's bad to continue to play a game for those reasons. I lived this. Trust me. Times change. People change, but not that much. And above all, games like these change over time. At least, MMOs do. What was once a great and enjoyable game becomes a microtransaction lazy ass compilation of bullshit with small bites of nostalgic references to what the game once was, drip fed to you by a development team at a game company that usually no longer gives a flying shit about you. All they care about is your money. And I'm here to tell you to let go and get out. And I'm not talking about just World of Warcraft, though everything I just described is World of Warcraft right now to a T. I was a slave to the exact same thing. The last 4 years that I was still playing World of Warcraft, I dreaded logging into that game every day. But I had to. I was the raid leader. I was the main tank. I was an officer in a guild that cleared mythic content. I couldn't let my friends down because I still liked those people. I still loved playing games with those people. But little did I know that many of my fellow guild mates felt the exact same way about the game that I did, and they were equally as afraid to admit it. Nobody wanted to say anything because nobody wanted to be the odd man out that broke up the team, guild, raid, whatever. So if this sounds at all like you, please take my advice. It's time to let go. In the same way many people never move out of their hometown or let go of their high school glory years, you're wasting your time and your life if you're doing something you don't actually enjoy doing. Even if you have to say goodbye to some people that you really care about. In life, you simply can't live exclusively for others at your own expense. And this is a guy that's had cancer and a guy that's gone through divorce talking, okay? Not just an avid gamer. And in MMO gaming, it's the exact same principle can be applied. Continuing to play a game that you no longer enjoy so you don't let people down is only going to make yourself miserable, and you're going to start to resent the very people you're playing with and the game, that you used to love. And on top of that, you're going to make the people you play with that you care about miserable because you're no fun to be around. Gaming. Many YouTubers, content creators and streamers, and that's why I said gaming, because gamers, they fall into the same trap. Playing and streaming games they no longer enjoy to get views and make money. It's another reason that was never my goal, and I will never be that, nor will I strive to be that, nor am I hoping to be that. Even if for those of you who have watched my streams and have interacted with me, the money that I've made off Twitch and YouTube, I donate to other Twitch and YouTubers that I enjoy their content, for the most part. I keep very, very little of it. I didn't do it to make a career out of it. Now, to be clear, there is no hidden agenda in this video. In case you're worried or wondering, because I know this YouTube channel was originally started as a WoW channel, a Death Knight channel, and it changed to a Final Fantasy XIV channel. I'm not quitting Final Fantasy XIV or my YouTube channel or Twitch. The day I no longer enjoy Final Fantasy XIV or streaming or making content, I'll simply change games, switch it up, or I'll stop making it altogether and I'll let you know. But that's not the case right now. That's not what this video is about. If nothing else, I will always be straight and honest with my subscribers, with my viewers, because, I gamed way too long out of obligation instead of out of enjoyment. I've been there. I've done that. And it's hard to let go of something, especially if you've been a slave to that game for 14 plus years. So if any of this sounds like you, it's time to remove your head from your anus and start to recapture the joy you got out of this hobby we all love called gaming. Find a game you love. Right now, I recommend Final Fantasy XIV. I also can recommend the new Devil May Cry game, Division 2 at the moment. See if your friends will come along with you if it's an online game you're looking at. If not, then maybe you weren't as close to them as you thought you were to begin with, or maybe the game you moved to just isn't their cup of tea. But stop sacrificing yourself and your own happiness and your own enjoyment and supporting game companies that you no longer enjoy out of some misguided sense of loyalty. Games and companies earn your loyalty. It isn't deserved. It isn't, permanent. If the game's no longer engaging and interesting to you, bail. I mean, the second a game or any other activity in your life is no longer enjoyable, it's time for you to reassess, put on your big boy or big girl pants, and move the fuck on. Okay? Anyway, guys, that's what this video has been about. This has been Raziel. We have Final Fantasy XIV Fan Fest in Tokyo coming up here in a few days. How much of that I will cover. Again, like I said earlier, I'm not going to be just a general news covering thing. If there's something I want to talk about, I will make a video about it. During Shadowbringers, I intend to release some guides and other things. But this YouTube channel is about the things, you know, making content that I really am passionate about, want to talk about. And I'm not going to be just another clickbaity soy boy fucking constantly putting out 2-3 videos every day that are the same title or close to 30 other channels videos just for views and clickbait. I'm not going to be, I'm not doing that. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think. How long, if ever, did you play a game that you didn't like out of a similar obligation? How long did it take you to finally let go? Have you let go? Do you still feel stuck somewhere? Also, as another side note, I'm about to say, follow me on my Twitch and Twitter for live streaming and other bullshit. I rarely use Twitter because I mean, fuck social media. In all honesty, it can, you know, lick my taint. I don't give a shit about it. But I'm switching up my stream times with my job. Tuesdays just no longer make sense to stream because I can only stream for 2 or 3 hours on a Tuesday, because I have to get up early for work on Wednesday. But since Thursdays are my Fridays, the end of my work week, pretty much nothing that's going to change about my stream times is Tuesday will be changing to Friday mornings. But at any rate, that's in flux. You can just check my About section and my actual Twitch page to know when I'm going to go live if you're interested in coming and hanging out and having a good time. This has been Raziel, guys. More content coming to you as soon as I can. And as always, keep it fucking real.